Shanti, good morning. So, today we are here to revise, or rather, not revise, we are here to discuss about Devi Manmohini as was requested. Because it's a beautiful month of July, and we are in the mid July almost. And this month, Devi Manmohini became aware. I'm sure many of us know about her, but let's try to look at her life journey. What got her into becoming a BK? What was the roles which she played in the yajna after becoming a BK, and how Brahma Baba had a lot of faith and confidence in her to take major decisions for the yajna, which only a few people, actually, it was first Mama who was the first administrative head, and following that, it was when she became aware, then it was Didi Manmohini who was in charge of the yajna. So let's go down memory lane that how Didi belonged to a very wealthy household. And by the way, people from Mumbai here know very well this hospital called Jaslok Hospital. So Jaslok Hospital, basically, the word Jaslok is derived from two words. It's the name of a couple. Jaslok, Jas is Jasomati, Lok is Lokumal. So the wife's name was Lokumal. Sorry, the husband's name was Lokumal and Jasomati was the wife's name. And why I'm telling you all this in detail, because it's a very famous hospital, and you can imagine now it's a lot of elite class of people who go and get their treatment done there. And she was one of both these, Jasomati and Lokumal were, I think, her kaka kaki. They were their uncle and aunt. And also there was her maternal side. Again, why maternal side is important? Because these three souls came into Yajna. Didi Manmohini, her younger sister called Dadi Shilindra. She was also, Baba used to label her as the controller of Mumbai. So that one, because she spent a lot of time in Mumbai, and both of their mothers, the Lokik mother of them, she was called Queen Mother. So all these three of them, they came into Gyan, and they came into Yajna and sort of became surrendered in one go. I'll tell you that story as well shortly. So I was here speaking about these three souls and their father, Queen Mother's husband and Didi's father had left the body, and their maternal side, again, so Queen Mother's sister, they were called Chen Rai. Chen Rai, again, it's a wealthy surname. They were Chen Rai firms, like now we have the Ambanis and the Adanis. So they were businessmen, very famous businessmen. So in short, trying to tell you that she belonged to a very wealthy family, and all sorts of materialistic possessions were there. Right from day one, Didi Manmohini was married to, again, a wealthy guy, but she had this internal uh, yearning for God. And all the time she used to like look at the idol of Krishna, and sort of tears used to flow through her eyes. And she used to really be a fond uh, lover of Krishna and used to like even the Gita and the Bhagavad. And she used to recite the stories of that. And she used to always internally say to herself, when will you come and meet me, Krishna? I am so much yearning for you. And her name, incidentally, was also Gopi. So she used to really take a lot of pride in saying that, yes, I am the Gopi and I am looking for you. When will you come? And then it happened one day that all these three, the mother, Queen Mother, and Didi, and her sister Shilindra, they visited Brahma Baba's satsang, which was the Om Mandli. And the moment they went there, the Om Dhvani was going on. It was therefore called Om Mandli. And also, she sort of, in one way, went into semi trance, and she had the vision of uh, the Krishna. And this was first time in her life that she had sort of experienced this state of meditation and also the trance state, and then she was taken away fully by this. And then she became Mastani and Diwani, as we say in Hindi. She was intoxicated with this. And she just sort of was not coming out of semi-trance. Then Baba said, Bachi, aa jao, come down. And then gradually when she came out, so she said, I want to just be here. I want to surrender my life, so on and so forth. And that time the Yagya was going through a lot of turmoil in Sindh. This was very much in the prime time, 1936, 37. And she said, Baba, I don't want to go home. And I want to spend time here. I want to be surrendered. Brahma Baba said, my dear child, there's a time for everything. At the moment, you can't get surrendered here because very tough times are going through. You belong to a very wealthy household, and if you come here along with your mother and your sister, things can go wrong. And already there's a lot of resistance, and you belonging to a wealthy household, you'll immediately become famous that you have left home, and again there will be more and more defamation will happen more, which already was Brahma Kumaris were defamed that day. So Baba said, wait for the appropriate time. Baba will take care of that. Shiv Baba. Baba means Shiv Baba. So she actually didn't like it, but with a very heavy heart, she used to attend the satsang daily, but sort of didn't like to go home. But she had to go home. So all those three souls used to keep come on and on. And once what happened, and this story is also very nice. Her husband was otherwise quite okay, but once they had a little bit of argument on something, and he just slapped her, hit her on the face very hard, maybe, and uh, which made her glasses fall, the specs, and it came down, and she also hurt herself, maybe on the head or something. And this was the very right time. She was actually just waiting for this to happen, which means waiting for some mishap to happen. And she said, now it's too much, it's done. You are my husband, but you have been ill treating me, and you sort of now take put haath uthaya in Hindi we say. You have hit me hard, which shows you have disrespected me, you don't care for me. I'm leaving the house now. So please don't come behind me anymore now. So this way she was internally feeling so nice, and then she left home, and then she and her mother and her sister, again, all these trio, the souls, I'll be saying the trio again, not again and again mentioning all their names. So they came to Baba, and then Baba said, see, child, I told you, there's the appropriate time you can come. But again, though this was the reason she came, but obviously there was again a big hoo-ha that, oh, the Chandrai farms, their maternal relatives, the Queen Mother's relatives, and Jasomati, Lokumal, both these family members as well. But then there was no looking back. Didi came in. Then Didi, before she also got surrendered like that, she was very much interested in sewing. That there were a lot of sewing machines which she used to teach sewing to people, to the girls, the Kumaris over there, the Kanyas who used to come. And it was a very nice way to get them attracted to this Om Mandli. Because Didi always was very open-minded about her thoughts of being very independent. Though she belonged to a wealthy family, she had all the riches, all the positions, all the wealth in the world. But she felt that no, I need to be independent, and I don't need to be relying on my husband and my in-laws for my sustenance. And that's what she started with the swing. And I remember here, even my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, we are Sindhis, so I remember this. She's no more. So she used to tell me that there was this. In Hindi, we say the word shala. Shala was Shala means a school, and it was a sewing school which Didi Manmohini used to. She didn't tell me about Didi Manmohini, my grandmother, but she just said that there was this Brahma Kumaris. They used to call the young Kumaris. They used to sort of hypnotize them in one way. They used to say, "Oh, we'll be teaching you sewing and so on and so forth," and then the Kumaris used to just vanish, and they don't want to come home. They don't want to marry. They don't like us. They just want to remain in white clothes, so on and so forth. So, all sorts of stories which the Sindhi people still say. Obviously, those days have gone now where there was so much of resistance, but I still can relate to this because she said, my grandmother said, no, I didn't want to send your mother to that place because otherwise she would not, I would not have been there, obviously. She would not have married and so on and so forth. So obviously my mother wasn't sent there, but I can still remember such stories. So coming back to Didi Manmohini now, so when she came into Yagya, it was a big transformation for the Yagya. Let me tell you, I won't be relating to each and every story, but I want to give you a crux of how Didi was a revolutionary. You all know Dadi Prakashmani. Everyone knows very well because she was always on the forefront. Dadi was the administrative head, technically speaking, from the day Brahma became Avyakt, 69 onwards till 2007. She was always on the forefront. She used to recite the Murli always on the stage, go for lectures, so on and so forth. Whilst Didi was more of a background person. There was a beautiful blend of love and law. The Dadi Prakashmani was more of loveful and Didi was more of lawful. But that doesn't mean that Didi didn't have love for others. And when we say Didi, technically she's the only Didi in the Yajna. All the others are Dadis, you know that. And there were both these two bodies, but one soul. They gelled well so much with each other. Their personalities blended well, and they took on the yajna to a very high level, which no one can imagine. Because after Brahma Baba left the body, everyone felt, oh, we'll see where this Brahma Kumaris can go on further now. So after 69, or rather before 69, whilst the yajna was still in Sindh, let me just go sequentially so that you get a perspective. So Brahma Baba chose her because she was wealthy, as I told you. She still was in touch with her family members, her extended families, and they used to tell her, why don't you come to after the partition? So all of you know this very well. 1947, the partition took, and Brahma Kumaris were still for 3 years in very much in Sindh and in Karachi. That was the place where they were. And you know, Dadi Janki remembers the Clifton Harbor where they had the big house over there. And yeah, I remember here that Brahma Baba didn't keep her at her house, at his house. It was a separate Om Nivas was built as a hostel, and there was another just opposite Om Nivas was Prem Nivas. So Prem Nivas was the place where these trio were staying, and they used to sustain all the Kumaris and the Kanyas who had come in the Yajna. So Brahma Baba also told her that now probably we have to go to India. Some touchings are coming because this has become a Muslim country, and Shiv Baba wants us to go to India and establish over there. So can you maybe find out where do we go in India? Because he was also a wealthy businessman, a jeweler, but he was really very nyara pyara, very detached that time. And he said, now you can try to find out, child. So she, through her contacts, came to Abu. You know the big story on. I think I should recommend you all to see this film on awakening about Didi Manmohini. It's in Hindi, but I'm sure on YouTube you'll find auto translate in English for those who don't understand Hindi very clearly. And how she came, and the driver of the car in Mount Abu, he showed her many places, but she didn't really like it. And then finally the driver said, what do you really want, sister? Because I have been showing you so many places in Abu. She said, I want something where 300 to 350 people, the brothers and sisters, can stay together. And then something clicked, and the driver of the car told him, I think you'll like this. I'm showing you this one last spot, and then you decide what you want to do. And I think it was Bridge Court. He showed her it was one of the palaces of the summer palaces of those Rajasthani kings. It was a big place. I think it was called Dholpur Place or something. And then, excuse me. And then she liked it because it was a big courtyard was there and it was a big palace like. And then she said, Brahma Baba, yes, that this place is good. And also, some stories I heard like that, that her, not in-laws, but her extended relatives who were very wealthy, they lured her that you come and we'll support you here fully, financially and all that. So she said, I won't be coming alone. I'll be coming with a big jhund, with a big gang of 350 BKs. Would you be able to support me? They said, yeah, don't worry. It is all on us. You come. And this way, then she blindly believed him and about the financial thing. And this was the Dholpur house or whatever house they had seen, Bharatpur house and Dholpur house or something like that. And Brahma Baba then finally decided to move the yajna, obviously on the directions of Shiv Baba and having full faith in Didi Manmohini. So, and it was a big task. So the entire ship was loaded with their cars. There are so many all belongings. Imagine it's so many children, 350 BKs roughly, with all their belongings. So it's a big task to happen, a Herculean task, and a few cars as well, because it was transferred in the ship. And all of us know the date. If I can just ask a few questions, so you all can also start writing it down in the chat box. Which was the day when, or which was the month when the Yajna was transferred to India? You all remember? So it is, no one is still writing. No worries, I'll just tell you. I can imagine it's early morning hours and people may not be knowing. So it's 5/5/50. So it's the 5th of May, 1950. So they came here and to their surprise, they realized that it was all fake. No, the Bharatpur Kothi and all that was fine, but the financial help, the support from these relatives was all fake news as we have it now. So they all just shred away, they shook off their hands, and no one really wanted to help them. And that's the reason we say that the beggary part started here because they really didn't have money. They were banking on a little bit that yes, Didi Manmohini's family would help them in some way, but it was nothing. They were not bothered. And then they were in one way mocking, and they were saying that let's see how these people survive here now in India with nothing. But this is Baba's Yagya, Almighty Authority. How can Almighty Authority not help them? And as the story goes further, Didi was a strict disciplinarian. There are many stories here. There's a brother called Tulsi Bhai. He shares this story that how one day he was the one who used to play record of the Amrit Vela. And Didi used to sit herself 4 to 4:45 and give drishti, powerful drishti, be in yoga. And this was a story which Tulsi Bhai has told us many times. He's still there in the yagya, and you can find out BK Tulsi on Google him and see he's got a lot of beautiful stories, all the Adi Ratans. So one day it happened that he was playing on the song and he played it from 4:45 a.m. till 4:50. 5 minutes extra. Now imagine, only 5 minutes extra. What big deal does it make? But then see what happened further. So that day, then at 11 a.m. that very morning, he was called by Devi. And she said that you have really spoilt my recording. Sorry, Didi, I didn't know what happened. How did I spoil? And so Didi explained her the entire instance. And she said, you played 5 minutes extra that song, because of which when I went back to my room, the tea which was there had become cold. And I had to send it to Lachu Behin. Lachu Behin was the one again caretaker for Brahma Baba. And she was either wanting to reheat it That time we didn't have microwaves, obviously, it was not instant. So she had to maybe put it again on the stove. And in the meantime, the tea comes, and I again sort of go for my daily chores. The brother who had got the hot water, because that time there were no geysers and no solars as we have now in the yagya, that bottle, the bucket of hot water also became cold, which had to be reheated. So because of all this, everything just got delayed more and more. And then Didi was late 5 minutes for the early morning class, the Murli class. And when Didi came, to Didi's surprise, it was white light she had to enter. And didn't even you care, brother, that early morning Amrit Vela, you extended 5 minutes extra that song? Didn't you realize that you have spoilt my record of entering always during red light because it was Didi's record? She never used to enter the Murli class in white light. White light means the class has begun already. That's what she meant. And red light means that during meditation she used to come. So she said that you have spoilt my record, and in future, please make sure that you don't do this again. So this showed that she was so much of disciplined about time, about everything in the yagya. She used to tell Dadi that, Dadi, we have to sustain, Dadi Prakashmani. We have to sustain the sisters here. So Dadi used to always say, oh, I should keep them like royal family. We should give all these sisters saris, obviously white saris, but we should give them good quality saris. So Didi used to say, if you give good quality, how will we sustain? I mean, there are so many sisters in the yagya. So that way she had this beautiful balance. She knew she was a mother in one way. I'm not trying to look down upon anyone, but Dadi Prakash Mani was just a Kumari, whereas Didi Manmohini was a mother herself, in the sense that she had seen, though she was from a wealthy household, but she knew how to take care of finances in the family as well. So she was the perfect administrator, and therefore there she was. From 69 to 83, Baba had kept her in the yagya as in one way an additional chief. She was managing all the expenses, what comes into yagya, what goes out, what gifts people are to be given, so on and so forth. She was the one taking care of. And then five important things she's given to the yagya. All of you should know that, I'm sure. So first is the today's form of Murli, the Sakar Murli, which we do. The title, the question answer, the entire Murli of 3.5 pages, followed by the blessing and the slogan. All that format is Didi's uh, Dane to Didi's contribution. Second, she said that everyone will do Amrit Vela in a gathering, not in their respective beds, in their respective rooms. So that gathering yoga, Sangathit yoga, she was the one who started Amrit Vela. Third, the traffic control, which you can see, was also started by her. Fourth, uh, the Nimasham Yoga, the evening meditation, 6:30 to 7:30. Again, she said. Fifth thing, she was instrumental in getting in the yagya was Baba's room. Every center has a Baba's room. She was instrumental for doing that. And one more thing, sixth thing, offering bhog by the householders. So all the Matajis, the mothers in the yagya, she used to ask them that don't you offer bhog to Baba? Don't you feed him and then feed yourself? So mothers used to say, oh, we almost want to do that, but how do we do? We are not BK surrendered sisters. So she said, that doesn't have any meaning. It's officially surrendered. You are not on that official list of so and so Didi or sister. But you're not a householder, Grahasti, you are a trustee. And is Shiv Baba not your child? Shouldn't you be offering bhog? So they said, yes, of course, we are waiting, we yearn to do that. So Didi started this in the yagya that even all the householders should have offering of bhog to Baba 3 times a day. So she was really a revolutionary, as I said, and she made sure that she didn't attract people towards herself. A very important thing, this story I like to share always, a very unique story of Didi Manmohini. And after this, then I think it will be 5:30, and then I'll share about her last days in the yagya. and I think it will be 5:45. So bear with me for that. Yeah. So coming to this story, where once a brother, sorry, let me just go back. So in those days in the yajna, it was the late 70s, 77, 78, and early 80s. That time the tape record had come. The cassette and the tape record was newly invented, and there were a few such tape records. And that time, then the brothers had started recording Didi's Murli because she used to churn Murli very well, and she used to take out beautiful points. And after the Murli, she used to tell, "Come, let's play badminton." And that badminton essentially meant uh, uh, give and take of Murli points. She used to ask questions, and the students used to answer. So that time, the brother who was recording the Murli, he just finished recording, and another brother who just came uh, running, and because he was late that day, so he came to this audio brother and said, "Please give me the cassette. I need it because I'm sorry I was late." He said, "Sorry, I can't give you the cassette like that. I have to ask Didi Manmohini." He said, "Why do you want to ask? I'll give it to you in half an hour. Let me just listen to it in my tape recorder and get back to you." He said, "No, I have strict instructions." So, well, to cut the story short, he went to Didi Manmohini, audio brother, and said, he's asking. She said, "No, don't give him, but ask him to come and meet me." So that other brother, when he came in, like he was like a little bit scared because Didi was strict. And he was wondering why Didi has asked him to meet him just for this small thing of asking the audio cassette. So he came in front of Didi. Didi gave him beautiful drishti. She gave him toli. She said, "Sit down. I'll come in few minutes. You have the toli." So, and then Didi came back after he finished the toli, and then he said, "Tell me, brother, what makes you come here and ask the tape?" She said, "Didi," he said, "Didi, I am really sorry I was late, blah, blah, and all that, and I want to hear your Murli." So Didi said, "Say it again, what? You want to hear my Murli?" And then Didi's antennae, I mean Didi sort of from inside, she felt, what is this brother telling? It is not my Murli, it is Baba's Murli. She told him that. The brother said, "Oh, yeah, sorry, it's not your Murli, but I want to listen to your voice." And then Didi really found, I mean, she realized that this brother was really under the influence of Didi's voice. So she said, "Look, brother, what do you really want? You want Murli points, right? The churning of Murli points. I'll give you my diary. You take my diary and get it back to me in half an hour or so and write down the points." But the brother wasn't satisfied. He said, "No, Didi, I want the audio cassette, please." So Didi said, "Obviously, you're not getting this audio cassette because I know you're just under the influence of my voice. And I don't want your intellect to be pulled by that. And also, similarly, I don't want my intellect to be pulled towards you." See, it's so deep. Nowadays, let us now flash forward from 77, 78 to now 2025. In 2020, something really great happened in the world, which shook the world. That's COVID, and everything became online. BK brothers and sisters, everyone started having their YouTube channels. Why? For Seva. Never realizing that Maya is really taking the form of this Zoom and YouTube channel. Everyone wants a channel. Why do you want a channel? I want it for Seva. Fine. Seva, what? You want to post something? Why do you want to post? Because you want to make more subscribers. So that's all in the head going on of people if you have a YouTube channel, because it's really a form of Maya. And Didi asked her that brother that what is the most difficult subject of all the four, Gyan, Yog, Dharana, Seva? It's Yoga. And all of us know that we sit in meditation and our mind starts wandering here and there. And if I am not having good concentration in yoga, I'm struggling with having a good yoga with Baba. All these are hurdles in between. So, like if someone has YouTube subscribers of say 1,000, it's 1,000 intellects pulling him. And what will that soul always want to do to sustain his or her channel? He would want to post some new YouTube video, something new on that. So all the time, my intellect would be just about posting this, posting that, and this all is not actually in one way seva. It is Maya taking the name of seva and doing that. So Didi told her that, my dear brother, from now onwards, from this, take a lesson that it is good you missed this uh, Murli today in the morning, and then now, from now onwards, you have been liberated from my voice. Okay, so keep yourself also safe and me also safe, and this is a mode of safety for both of us. Baba said that in Hindi. ये safety का साधन है. What? Not pulling each other's intellects, not getting influenced by each other. Obviously, we recognize each other, we tell each other specialities, and also, yes, acknowledge that this they have the many specialities, but not getting pulled towards them. In Hindi, Baba says these words: lagav, jhukav, prabhav, dabav, takrav. All these R's. We'll go in that in sometimes. So because of this attraction, liking someone's Murli Manthan, liking someone's meditation commentary, all these make us so dependent on them. And that brother was really struggling because he was saying, Didi, I like to listen to your voice. But Didi said, Didi cut it immediately over there. So this was the way that how Didi made sure that no one gets attracted to her, no one gets dependent on her. Everyone has does their effort, Purusharth on their own independently because it's everyone's own journey. We need to know that. Okay, then we go further. We have almost 10 minutes, I guess. So what we'll do is we'll discuss about the last days of Didi Manmani, many, many stories which we don't have time to discuss now, but how once it happened, so happened that people felt that Didi slipped in the bathroom, right? And she sort of, when she came out, she was a little bit unconscious, semi-conscious, and the blood pressure was seen. It was sky high. So the doctor said that something is wrong going on. We need to investigate why the blood pressure is so high. So Didi said, no, it's okay. And someone said, yeah, Didi just slipped in the bathroom. She didn't slip actually. It was basically her BP was high and therefore she became semi-conscious. So then after investigation, it was found on the scans that she's got a small tumor in a very important part of the brain in the optic nerve, the nerve which takes you, which is responsible for the vision. What we see is through the optic nerve. And then Didi's eyes used to always remain very flushed, very red, and her BP was always high. So she had headache, but she used to prefer not to take tablets. But then the doctor told her that this tumor needs to go out. Coming to the story of Mumbai, then she went to Mumbai because Abu didn't have a lot of facilities. And Avyak, the Bab Dada, also, they took the permission that Baba said, yeah, go ahead with the surgery. Because, Didi and Dadi, they never used to take any decisions without asking Avyak Bab Dada. So Dadi Gulzar used to go into trance, get the message from Baba that, yes, please go ahead. So the date was decided. The operation was successful. It was Dr. Bhagwati. He was a famous neurosurgeon in Mumbai. It's a big clan of doctors. And as we speak, his nephew, he's a pulmonologist. He's a lung specialist in Mumbai. He's also coming to knowledge now. So Dr. Bhagwati, it was like a very routine surgery for him because he was a very senior neurosurgeon in Mumbai. And then operation went well. We came out quite well, but the next day after 12 hours, the next morning, people were trying to sort of make her awake, the nurses, all the Yagya brothers and sisters, but she wasn't really coming out. And she slipped into coma. And then it was realized that Dr. Bhagwati, they were trying to do some troubleshooting that everything during the operation, post-operative, everything was fine. But what has happened in the 12 hours overnight after the operation? And it was realized, and it came out that the nurse who was there on duty, again, we can't say it was her mistake, but the oxygen cylinder, which was giving oxygen to the entire night, had a very poor flow. because the oxygen was not adequate enough for the brain, and the brain suffered what we call in our terms hypoxemia, low oxygen, and therefore she went into coma. So here everything started, all hoo-ha in the yagya, all the brothers and sisters who were not really having full faith in the drama, that why the hell did Didi get operated? Unnecessary, see, our Didi has become like that, coma, blah, blah, so on and so forth. And then all of you know this story that when Didi left the body, the bhog after that, a few days later, the bhog which came in, and in that bhog's message was, Baba said, that is not the fault of Didi Manmohini, sorry, not the fault of Bhagwan, and not even the fault of Bhagwati. So Bhagwan means Baba himself, Shiv Baba, and Bhagwati was that Dr. Bhagwati he referred. He said everything is in drama, Baba said, and he just tried to make everyone speechless. Just one message from Baba, and everyone's thoughts came to a standstill. And on the contrary, it was shared over there to Dadi Gulzar that all of us were feeling that Dadi is in coma. But it was almost, they said, 3 weeks to 4 weeks. I don't know the exact duration. But during that period, though Didi was in coma, but otherwise, on a soul level, she was with Baba all the time in the subtle world. And it was mentioned that she was feeling so nice. She was saying that my pillow is Baba's lap, and I'm enjoying Baba's presence. And also Shiv Baba related that Bab Dada, both Brahma and Shiv, that she was one of the students who never used to go so much in trance, but she had a very strong urge and strong wish that she should have a lot of time spent with Brahma Baba and Shiv Baba in the subtle world. And that's what Baba had to listen to. So here again, whatever, if I'm a very powerful soul, if I'm a very pure soul, and I have great connection with Baba, so any wish, any pure wish which I have, Baba will definitely fulfill that. And to fulfill that wish, Baba had to do something, and obviously Baba doesn't do drama, does that. She had to be in the state of coma for 3 to 4 weeks. So it was a fabulous time of her entire career as a BK, the last 3, 4 weeks of hers. And all of you know this slogan. A few months before this thing happened and her surgery and all that, she sort of became very upram, as we say in Hindi, very detached, very, very much like that now I have to go home. So therefore, she came up with this slogan in Hindi, Ab ghar jana hai. Now we all need to go home. So brothers and sisters used to come and share stories with her. She used to say, "Oh, leave it. This is all so much of expanse. Now it's the time to go home." And all of you know, maybe if I can find out that song today later, we'll play it and have Yob on that. And that song was specifically uh, devised for her. Like it was created in Diri's remembrance at Ab Ghar Jana Hai. And you know that song is usually played in the yagya when people leave their bodies because it's a very soul-stirring song. I must not say an emotional song, but a song which can really take you to Param Dham in a second. And a little bit of grief also is there in that song because it was created for Didi Manmohini that time. But yes, for us, it's a powerful song helping us to forge a connection with Baba. So here it was, this was her last days. And as I said, those 3 to 4 weeks, that entire hospital scenario was converted into a satsang in one way because all the senior sisters, all the dadis used to come. They used to do a lot of yoga for her. And everyone was like, yes, Didi should come back, Didi should come back. But no, in the drama, in the message which came again to Dadi Gulzar's body, that everyone is disturbed, that why did you take away Didi Manmohini from us? Why didn't you inform that she will be going away, so on and so forth. So, as I told you, na Bhagwan ka dosh, na Bhagwati ka, that Baba said. And again, Dadi Gulzar was having a nice chit chat with Avyak Bab Dada that the Yagya Nivasis are not very happy that you should have at least given us some hint that Didi will leave the body. So Baba Shiv Baba said that this is not possible. What do you say in Hindi? That word. That drama में ये भावी नहीं है. Or in the drama, divine drama, does anyone leave the body and tell you that I'm leaving the body and then go? No. It is all achanak. Yeah, that's the word. Achanak. Everything will happen suddenly. And Baba has also said that even the day when the destruction will take place, I will still not tell you even a second before. It will just happen suddenly. You just have to be ever ready for everything. And he said that before that also Mama left the body, Dada Vishwa Kishore left the body. We'll be sharing their stories sometime later when we have time. But when they also left the body, did Baba give a signal? No, even Brahma Baba, 18 Jan 69, he left the body, but without any hint or without any signal that he's leaving the body. So that's the drama which is there, and let children get used to this drama. This when we know all the souls afterwards and before Bibi Manmohani also, everyone has left suddenly. They fall ill for some reason, they go to the hospital. The hospital is turned into an environment of meditation. It becomes like really a true satsang, and then they leave the body. So even they are leaving the bodies, it's so much of punya, so much of donation they do because it's so much of charity. They everyone comes into knowledge some way or the other like that through their leaving the body. So this was our dear Didi Manmohini, and such a beautiful soul, our Gopi. And the day she left was 28th of July 1983. And last thing before I finish here, 82, 1 or 2 years before she left the body, the peace conference was organized in Om Shanti Bhavan because Om Shanti Bhavan was recently built in 1980, early 80s, 81, 82. And Baba had said that you have to build this hall in 13 months because you have to hold a big conference. And that was the first big international conference of world peace organized. And it was really a big thing which happened. And Didi was very much a part of that. And again, why I'm telling you this, because the United Nations affiliation which we have now, we having a consultative status. Ours is the only non-governmental organization. So that started because Robert Mueller and Sister Shelley, both these were in a big position in United Nations, and they were invited for the conference to India, and they were really taken aback by the Brahma Kumaris' work. So Didi and Dadi both were a big part of making this affiliation with the United Nations. And after that, then many projects started. In 86, we had Million Minutes of Peace Appeal, so on and so forth. And many awards, 7, 8 awards of peace awards were granted to the Yajna from 1986 onwards. Okay, so here you are with Hadiri. So we'll fondly remember her. And in the sense, try to be like all these Adi Ratans, all these seniors, and gain inspirations from their life. The time is very limited now. It's the time to go home. And as Baba says, where you want to go, you have to start becoming like that. So let our thoughts, attitudes, memories, everything go towards Baba Baba Paramdham, the soul world. Okay. Thank you. Om Shanti. So, should we just play the Ab Ghar Jana Hai song? I'll play that, I guess. Is that okay?
Manoj Bhai, can I just ask you something?
Yeah, sure.
Just very short. When in those days, each of these dadis, whether they were married or whether they were not, they had a special vision. And I think that's the foundation story. Because why, some of them took the same story and they relate it nowadays. See, Dadi is left like that. They were married, they had children, they left. So what we should do? But, we do not take this kind of story in those days. It was a foundation when the yajna had to be created. And I remember, as you said, many saw Krishna and Brahma Baba. But even if I remember when Didi Manmohini first visited, she saw a kind of discuss, something running through Brahma Baba. So that story, like each of these are special jewels, how the story of Yajna was created. Uh, I think that's important. And secondly, when you were speaking about that Didi's last days, we just read this smoothly. That is, I think it was 30th July 1983. And I remember this famous saying that you said about Bhagwati Kabhi Doshne, Bhagwan Kabhi Doshne. Because that time, what happens nowadays when anyone leaves the body, we blame doctors. And that statement really made us think one leaving the body is not the doctor's mistake. It's for so many reasons. That time, just now when we read the Murli, that was an awareness. And also when somebody asked why was she taken, so clearly Baba mentioned about the advance party rule. So there were so many secrets which was given in that Murli of 30th June 1983. But if you have time, I just want you to throw some light on the beautiful relationship of Dadi Prakashmani and Didi, because Didi always related herself to Bhagwat because she thought she was a gopi. But Dadi Prakashmani's entry was different. But still, that was such a strong bond. Then what happened to that bond when Brahma Baba took Dadi's hands and gave the administration to her? Didi was out and she came back. That story also is absolutely beautiful. If you can throw some light on these two wonderful relations, the Dadi Prakashmani and Manmohini Didi, if you have time. Om Shanti.
Yeah, sure. Actually, I forgot. There are so many stories related. So good for reminding. Thank you for reminding that. So, yeah, so as I said, two bodies but one soul. And officially, we know it is 1969 onwards, the administrative head was Dadi Prakash Mani. And as you rightly said, that Didi Mohini, sorry, Manmohini Didi, she was that time not there. She was on the tour of North India. And she's actually the official person who's really spread the seva in the entire North India. So the entire zone of Delhi, it's a big zone now, and even the Uttar Pradesh, we say Allahabad, and now it's called Prayagraj. So Didi was touring that time over there. And Jayanti Didi also shares many stories like that, that in her early years when Jayanti Didi was just surrendered, Brahma Baba told her and told Didi Manmohini that take her with you and train her and so on. So that time, the story which you're probably referring to here is the Dadi Prakash Mani started calling up everywhere. And that time there were no mobile phones. Imagine there were no big centers also where Dadi could call up and tell Didi about Brahma Baba leaving the body. So somehow or the other, she just spread the message, and the message went to Didi, and she was on the tour. So while the time she comes back, it took around 1.5, 2 days, and all of you know the body was still there. And Manmohini, when she reached early morning, then the last rites took. So both these souls, in essence, it was like they were so much of gelling well with each other in the way that people used to try to ask the same question to both of them, but they used to find the same answer. So, like, it's a story. I don't know exactly what the story was, but one brother asked Dadi something and he was not happy with the answer of Dadi. So, he tried to play a little bit of mischief and he went to Didi Manmohini and asked her the same question. And Didi Manmohini was very sharp and shrewd buddhi, shrewd intellect. Not, I'm saying that strict also, but very sharp intellect. So she said, Brother, you've already got the answer. She had a beautiful touching and catching power, Didi, because she was having a very clean and clear intellect with Baba. So she said, Brother, I think you've already got the answer from Dadi Prakash Mani. So whatever her answer is, then my answer is the same. So this way, because nowadays, not nowadays, or maybe it's just a routine in the world that people try to create rifts between each other by trying to have differences of opinions, conflicts of interest, so on and so forth. But here the Yagya from 69 to 83, till the time Bidi Manmohini was there, Both of them had a beautiful connection, and it was like always that whatever one says, Hanji ka part, I will also listen to that, and I will not try to give a different opinion, because it can create rifts and then you'll have divisions in the yagya, which didn't happen that time. Unfortunately, till this date also, there are no divisions in the yagya. Obviously, there can be differences in opinion. Everyone is number wise. But during their reign till 1983, they carried on with the yagya in a very coordinated, in a united way, making sure that the gathering is very, very safe. Because, as Baba says in the Murlis, that this entire gathering, it's like a fortress. And even if one brick in the fortress is loose, it can really uh, shake the entire yagya, so which has never happened so far. That was the beauty of both these souls, right? Okay, so shall we begin, or any other sharings from anyone?
आदि में आए थे उस घर से, अंत वहाँ ही जाना है। आदि अंत का मंत्र यही है, सबको यही सुनाना है। अब घर जाना है कि अब घर जाना है, अब घर जाना है कि अब घर जाना है। आदि अंत का मंत्र यही है, सबको यही सुनाना है। अब घर जाना है कि अब घर जाना है, अब घर जाना है कि अब घर जाना है। सबका मालिक जहाँ का वासी, सब आत्माएं जहाँ से आती, जिस घर के हम सब हैं भांति, जहाँ आत्मा शांति पाती। शांति धाम या ब्रह्मलोक वो, शांति धाम या ब्रह्मलोक वो, उसे न कभी भुलाना है। अब घर जाना है कि अब घर जाना है, अब घर जाना है कि अब घर जाना है।
Om Shanti. Thank you.
Om Shanti. Thank you to Baba. Thank you, Manoj Bhai, for wonderful information about one Mohini sister. Thank you, Divine Family. See you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Until then, have a beautiful day.